banter. Balls and banter. No excuses, just win, win, win with your balls and banter. We got balls, we got pucks, we got sticks, we got everything in between. We got balls and banter.
All right, folks, it's Tuesday, and we're playing the intro again. Let's just take it from the top.
Yeah, let's do that again.
Tuesday, hope you had a great weekend. Enjoyed the Super Bowl. Again, I didn't because I was at a cheerleading competition in Orlando. Screw all of you people who planned it. We'll talk more about that, though, in a second. Tom is here with us. Jeff Whitaker back in the house. And we've got my good friend, your good friend soon as well, Courtney Moore, who is joining us. We're damn glad to have you, Courtney.
Glad to be here.
It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. So just for you guys, like we all coach together. We've known each other for a long time. We all coach together. There's about to be some insanity over the episodes that come over the weeks and months ahead.
Dude, I love this four-shot. I feel like the kid at the adult table.
I just now saw your outfit, and it's amazing. Your headband, the hair. I also, by the way, I saw just there's no segue to this clip whatsoever, and we don't have the clip. I saw this and it had Bon Jovi playing, so we couldn't for licensing. Their school's getting snowed out, and I grew up in Minnesota, snow all the time, like it's very normal for us. They're like, schools are getting snowed out and getting canceled. This is us in the 80s. And it shows this, like, I don't think he was smoking, but he might as well have been. This bus driver who just was a rugged son of a bitch, like peeling out through snowbanks with the kids in the back, just like totally normal, like sliding down the road on ice. It's like, hell yeah, that was the 80s.
Oh, yeah.
That's how decisions were made, right, wrong, or indifferent. At any rate, real quick, Chris Gotterup, who I'll be honest, I'd never heard of. Won the Phoenix Open, waste management in front of a very inebriated crowd. Always very wild there. He beat, I'm going to say his name wrong, Matsuyama. He beat him in a playoff.
Oh, sorry?
Yes. After, I think he did like 5 out of 6 in his final holes. He birdied like 5 of 6. And then Matsuyama has a couple stray shots on 18, I think, and then the first and only playoff hole.
Right in the water.
So Chris, good for you, Chris Gotterup. Don't know who you are, but I'm proud of you. You got the dub on Super Bowl Sunday. People kind of forget that that's happening, I think, but that's a big tournament. That's a crazy-ass tournament out there, the Phoenix Open.
It's wild.
Absolutely wild. Taryn Gregson used to be like an on-camera personality for the tour, and she's been on the show before, the old version of the show, and she said that it was so not fun being because she's a gorgeous blonde female. So not fun being in that crowd, having beer thrown at you. But I think the people there are having a good time. The ones who remember it.
I don't think they remember it though.
Yeah, that's
usually they have some urine-soaked pants from
Yes.
videos that come out of that place. Yeah, no good.
Yeah. What Tom, have you been to that?
I have not. I really want to go. And it's a little bit disappointing to me that it took place this year the same as the Super Bowl, because I feel like that tournament needs its own day, kind of like the Super Bowl. So all of us can kick back and enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think like a couple years ago, the Waste Management and the Super Bowl were in Scottsdale at the same time.
Law enforcement's like, shit.
Only reason I know that because that was the weekend of my bachelor party and we had to change it.
Yeah, that's
still on my bucket list though.
To go.
Yes.
Well, maybe we get a balls. Maybe at some point, Balls and Banter reports live from the Waste Management Open. That would be something.
Well, there's a bunch of shows.
It would be the last time they let us there, but if we could just get one.
There's a podcast that does like the par 3. You see them at the Players and everything, where they'll just sit and they'll cover and they'll talk and just do their show. We could probably make that happen. I mean, let's be honest.
We know some people there. I don't know. I think it would be one and done. Like that was a little much. You're not welcome back.
Now, have you guys ever seen the greatest foot race in golf? It goes on the Waste Management.
No.
Yeah.
So
I haven't.
It's like at sunrise, but when they open the grounds, it's all the fans waiting to run in.
Oh, to get to 17.
Yeah, to get to 17, to get everywhere, and it's awesome to watch because everyone's sprinting as hard, and they wait all night to wait in line.
You know
just
what's
for that.
so much better than that? We've talked about it, Tom, before. At least I know you and I have. So much better than that than the videos of adults running by themselves without kids into Disney World. Because I was thinking about it a lot this weekend because we're down at this tournament and the girls did awesome and honestly, you know, being a cheer dad now, it's like this is weird to say, but like these girls, I used to think cheerleaders were just like rah, like the ones who go to these competitions, like these were nationals, they're freaking studs. Like the stuff they do is insane. I know our good friend and your business partner's very involved in that world as well. I saw him down there, by the way.
Shout out Palm Valley Academy, national champs.
National champs. Yeah. Our good friend, his wife coaches them. They won the Natty. We got fourth, different division. But man, some of those teams. At any rate, we're in the hotel, so you stay with your team, and you're in the hotel. You compete at the ESPN Worldwide of Sports, and the amount of adults, some couples, some solo, that I saw getting in and out of the elevator that were clearly there for Disney. Why do I know? Because they're dressed in Disney stuff, like Mickey Mouse stuff. It's like, oh my gosh, like we do have a serious problem. There's adults going by themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And like that, I don't know. That's someone I don't want to talk to like at a dinner party because I think the conversation ends pretty abruptly. Like we just don't have much in common.
We went, last year we took my son for the first time. I don't know why. He's not going to remember it. But we get there early. I'm like, where these people kids at? Oh, you dressed in Mickey and Minnie. Okay. And they have a spreadsheet of everything they want to hit. Got to skip the line stuff. I'm like, this is too much. Yeah,
absolutely. We have not taken our kids because we have so damn many. And to get the fast passes, it's like $1,000 a kid per day, damn near.
The fact that they charge for the fast passes now is stupid.
The only thing that I like about unescorted adults going to Disney by themselves is I follow this group on Instagram called Plus Size Park Hoppers, and they're these giant fat chicks that go to Disney in all these Disney parks, and they talk about like going into restaurants that don't have arms. I guess when you're a 5X like one of them is, that's what they claim that she is. That if you sit down on chairs that don't have arms, that's like one of their biggest things. And then they shoot videos of themselves like going into like this little area where they have like a sample seat for a ride to see if they can get the bar over themselves. It's like the most humiliating thing ever. But for some reason, I'm just addicted to watching them try and like shove themselves into these rides.
How did you stumble into that follow?
Can you imagine his search history?
No, you don't. You go and look at his search history, and you are an accomplice, and you're going to jail also.
When Tom sends you a link at night, you don't open it because the next day you're going to have
FBI at my door?
Yeah, something. Or your feed's going to be filled with...
Or your wife has left you because she's looking over your shoulder like, what are you looking at, honey? Like, nothing. Tom sent it to me.
How many times is Tom in the Epstein files, is my question?
That's a good question.
My time at the island, we had a nice party.
You were just there for the scuba diving, right? There was nothing else.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the fastest certification course on the planet.
This is not where I parked my car.
I love it. Well, there was a Super Bowl this weekend. We should probably talk about it. Again, I didn't get to watch much of it. I'm watching it like on my phone with loud music and crazy-ass parents screaming. But there was a Super Bowl, and man, I can tell you, like from what I saw, you guys, I'm gonna trust you because I've just read and watched highlights. Suffocating defense from Seattle. Kenneth Walker is a boss, and it just seemed like it was pretty much kind of what we talked. Like Seattle, very complete team. What was your take, Court? I'll start with you. What was your take Sunday night?
Like the Seahawks defense is good, but I don't know if we got a good idea how good they are because the Pats offense is
weak,
very, very weak. It's not even. I don't know if they completed a pass over 10 yards. I know from the first 3 quarters they didn't. Yeah, I think they had 40 yards at halftime, maybe. It's like a pop on our offense, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
No run game, no pass game. I think Seattle ran the same blitz 4 times, the little nickel blitz. 4 times they didn't block it once. Not once.
A lot of house pressures. It was a clinic. They couldn't pick it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not good.
Well, and Sam and I mean Kenneth Walker had a good game. I think when I looked at one point he had 94 plus yards in the first half. But like their offense didn't really have to do, like they didn't turn it over, which is great. But Sam didn't have to do much, based on how the Pats played, based on how their defense played.
Only thing I had a problem with Sam, he kept throwing at Gonzalez. he kept throwing at him. I was like, don't throw at that guy. Throw at somebody else.
Yeah.
But I think he had, almost 3 interceptions in the first half because he's trying to get the ball to, I can't say his name.
JSN.
Yeah, just say JSN. Yeah.
JSN.
Yeah.
But Gonzalez was on him, like,
You can
smothering
say his
coverage.
name. I can't say his name. You can.
Yeah, we mess up there. It goes wrong.
Yeah.
I just think it was good that Seattle did a great job. They weren't worried about getting the touchdown. Just kick it through the pipes. We'll keep going.
Yeah, what do you kick? 5 field goals?
Yeah, and it was like, hey, we'll get the score now. Let's not worry about anything else. And they did it.
If the Pack can't score, we're gonna just win with field goals.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't. I mean, did I miss much? Like, it doesn't seem like I missed a whole hell of a lot.
No, there was a couple good commercials, but that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can see those on YouTube.
Yes.
But the commercial was very good.
I was finally able to see a Super Bowl where my favorite position got their sort of just desserts. And if you like the long snapper and appreciate the play, this was the game for you. With the amount of field goals and the amount of punts that were going down, I will go down in history in believing that Chris Stoll from the Seattle Seahawks should have been the MVP because he played a flawless game.
Flawless. All set 11 plays, he was on the field.
Yes. Tom, you need to go and practice just on air some long snaps with your current outfit in the lobby of the hotel you're in today. Then do some air jogs after you snap it.
Ooh, yeah.
Just the response.
Yeah,
would be amazing.
Get the cleaning staff down to try and, they can't really block me because there are rules against that. It would be fantastic.
Chris Stoll performed 14 total long snaps.
It's fantastic. Yeah. And all 14 were spot on.
Yeah.
Perfect spiral.
Championship.
We should do a long snapper documentary. That's what we need to do.
Oh, that reminds me. There's a documentary we need to talk about, Tom, offline. I don't remember what it was, but I had a great call about with someone yesterday in a fit of afternoon beverages. It'll come back. It's going to be great. It's going to be baller. Okay, so whatever. Everyone watched the game. Average Super Bowl. Hope you had fun. Hopefully you had some good food. There was this, we're not going to get too far into it, but there was a halftime war. Not everyone, lots of people upset when Bad Bunny was announced just because he's not everyone's cup of tea, doesn't sing in English a whole lot. So there's all this back and forth going up to the halftime show. So Turning Point decides to do their own halftime show, which had Kid Rock, Lee Bryce, Gabby Barrett, and Brantley Gilbert. They do their own thing. So this is kind of weird territory. We used to have the Puppy Bowl, and sometimes there was some stuff with the chicks, whatever. There's always been something on the side, but this was the most direct competition. So first I will ask, there's no judgment. Which show did you watch, Whit?
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. Court?
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny. Tom, what did you watch?
Bad Bunny.
Okay. I watched none of them. David, what did you watch?
Bad Bunny.
Okay. What was your take? Was it enraging like people thought it would be? Was it not? Was it just lukewarm? I don't care. I could give two shits about Bad Bunny or the halftime show.
I put a few notes down because I watched it and I was confused because I don't know any Bad Bunny songs, but I'm a 44-year-old, dude.
Yeah.
Right? That doesn't listen to music much. So I was like, why is Bad Bunny on for the Super Bowl? And, I was like, they're going to tell me tomorrow about why this is important and why all the subtleties were, meant something and how cool it was for Puerto Rico and the Latin countries.
I love how you said that.
You really dialed it in.
Puerto Ricans. The fact remains that the NFL had never done one thing that wasn't all about the dollar, right?
Yeah.
100%.
And so what's their biggest initiative right now? Going international. Okay, so next year they're playing 2 games in Spanish-speaking countries. So I did a little Wikipedia. Do you know what the most amount of people in the world whose first language is that language, right? So Chinese Mandarin is number 1.
Right.
You'd think number 2 would be English, but it's not. It's Spanish.
Oh, I believe it.
So
Yeah.
484 million native Spanish speakers in the world, right? And so if you're the NFL and you're trying to go international, put your biggest stage in front of a new audience.
Yeah.
That the entire halftime show and by the way, next year 2 of the international games, 2 of the 9 games are where? Mexico and Madrid.
Yeah.
In Spanish-speaking countries. So save me the inclusion message. NFL's never done anything for inclusion that didn't include their wallet. and this was all about money. And God bless him. He was the most streamed artist of 2025. He was the most streamed artist on Spotify in 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2025. And he's had 146 billion streams across all platforms last year, which is the most of anybody. So that's why he's there, not because of me. So all these older guys that are complaining, they're going to watch anyways.
Right. Well, and you're not the target audience, as you're saying.
No,
we're just not in almost anything anymore.
No.
I mean, well, and here's the thing. Like, I know there's lots of discussion. Like, I think it's clever. I'm not a Bad Bunny guy. I don't love his takes on a lot of things personally, but I also don't give a shit. Some of the lyrics obviously are supposed to be pretty bad and coarse, but you can get away with that.
He's singing a different
When
language.
he's singing a different language, they're like, oh, but how about Mr. Goodell? Have you read this verse here? Doesn't matter, bro. It's in Spanish. Like no one even knows. They're just dancing and listening to the music. I don't know. I didn't like the fact that the other one, even though it got streamed a lot, the All-American Halftime Report, lots of views. Relatively speaking, it's like over 25 million people watched that, which is obviously less than the Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl has a captive audience. So I think it's great. But switching, I'm just a lazy son of a bitch. Like, I got to change the channel.
I got to find the channel.
You got to find it. It's not on actual TV. It's on, I mean, I guess it was on Real America's Voice, but I don't know. Tom, what's your take?
Well, first of all, Bad Bunny is an artist. I'm not a fan of his. I go back to, I think it was maybe like the mid 2010 or the early 2010s where we stopped seeing bands, and then we got DJs. You know, we got the Mobies. And he was a little bit before that, but we had the Mobies. Then we had the Steve Aokis. You know, I'm just as big of cake face as anyone else. But that's when we sort of started this trend that we're on now, where it's only about the performer, not about the band. I mean, when was the last time you guys heard of a new band that you really wanted to see because it was getting a lot of, airplay, or you heard about it on Spotify or whatever? It just doesn't happen anymore. So the way the music industry now is, they get somebody who has marginal talent, and I would say that Bad Bunny is marginal talent because all his music is auto-tuned. To me, he doesn't have that great of a stage presence. He's got an okay stage presence. And let's not forget that he was funded by Venezuela to start his record career. The number 2 in, who's the guy? I keep thinking of Maduro. It's not Maduro. It's Hugo Chavez.
Chavez before him.
Yeah. Chavez.
Yeah, he was funded by Chavez's, number 2 guy. Whatever, money's got to come from somewhere to start your music career. But P. Diddy said it himself that he would rather have an artist that doesn't have that much talent or marginal talent than to work with, other than somebody that has a lot of talent, because they're easier to manipulate. And that's what you have with Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny is just kind of an empty vessel that is whatever you want him to be from the record industry standards. The halftime show itself, well, first of all, let me give you some context for my halftime shows. I go with Prince number 1, I go Michael Jackson number 2, and I go ZZ Top number 3. Those are my top 3 performances for a Super Bowl. So Prince being at the top, who I think is the greatest performer and greatest musician of all time, is a very high bar.
Big Vikings fan.
Yeah. And second of all, he performed during a torrential downpour, which you can't
Purple
get any
Rain.
better.
Yeah, I mean, it's on theme. Yeah.
Well, yeah. One of my favorite stories is the producer calling Prince in his hotel room the day of the Super Bowl and saying, "Oh, it's raining out," and Prince goes, "Can you make it rain harder?" I love that kind of attitude. To me, that's the ultimate performer right there, who has a comeback, something like that. But the imagery with the Bad Bunny halftime show had me really confused, because what it was to me was just all stereotypes of Puerto Ricans, where you have Bad Bunny sort of sashaying through a sugarcane field, and all these Puerto Ricans dutifully doing their work of harvesting the sugarcane, and then crawling up these electric poles and getting electrocuted, trying to tap into electricity. And then you have like flashes of like these bodegas where there's a neon sign that says EBT accepted here. and then you've got, some old guys playing dominoes and drinking rum. I was really confused by it. It just seemed like, why are you throwing all these stereotypes into one thing, which should be the opposite of what I think the halftime show should be.
I think it could be simpler for sure. Again, I didn't see it. I just can't get over how much I like your outfit today. But
I'm trying to get on the Olympic team.
But two, again, we weren't the intended audience, so like it's confusing to you or me. But it's like Roger Goodell doesn't give two shits about us. He probably should. Like we're cool people. But he doesn't. But it's interesting. So TMZ, who's going to be more on the Bad Bunny side of things for sure, put out a poll. Now, keep in mind, this poll, the graphic we're showing here, there was still 23 hours left. It didn't end where it is there. This is just the screenshot we got. But they put it out, who had a better halftime show, Bad Bunny or Kid Rock? The early figures were 84% Kid Rock, 16% Bad Bunny. I think it ended in the low 30s for Bad Bunny, mid to high 60s for Kid Rock and the other show. I imagine that was kind of a backfire for TMZ. I think they probably thought the opposite. But at any rate, whatever. Everyone got their flavor. They got what they wanted. Maybe they didn't. There was no Creed halftime show, so some people are upset about that.
I didn't see any like satanic imagery from what I from previous
there was lots
ones.
of grinding, right?
Yeah.
I saw lots of pushing into.
That's the culture of
There was a lot of crotch
Puerto
grabbing.
Ricans.
There's a lot of crotch grabbing.
Yeah.
But there was nothing where I was like, when you watch Madonna or Beyonce or any of them, where you're like, yeah, I feel weird. Like it was I didn't, unless Tom, did you see any?
Other than Lady Gaga wearing red shoes, and if you know about the red shoes, then that was the only thing that kind of jumped out at me.
Okay. Well, we've talked about the halftime show. We're going to talk about some other stuff. We got the Hall of Fame that, obviously we talked about Bill Belichick, Robert Kraft, and his salon all getting snubbed. So we're going to talk about who did get in the 2026 class, who's up for the 2027 class. We got North Dakota State. And we're becoming quickly the Mountain West show, the top premier Mountain West show in the country, because we're going to talk Mountain West again today. We just did last week. So we're going to do all of that after a quick break. Stick around.
We've all experienced low levels of electrolytes, whether from a late night of drinking, completing a half marathon, or maybe even just experiencing a bout of explosive diarrhea from a food truck. You know what it's like to need to replenish those also important minerals in your body. But why just settle for that when you can enjoy our new proprietary sports drink and Colon Sweet blend? Colon Sport. Colon Sport is the new frontier in electrolyte replacement and removal. With a quick surge of sugar and electrolyte replacement, you'll feel on top of the world. And then, like a brisk wind tickling your grandmother's chimes, you need to drop those minerals and a whole lot else. So stop drinking other successful mineral replacement drinks and jump on board the Colon Sport Express. We're not only sure you'll love the taste, but we promise you'll be coming back for more. Colon Sport only hydrates and replenishes electrolytes for a temporary period before blowing out your bowels and requiring most individuals to start the process over and over and over. Individual results may vary. Some individuals may experience significant weight loss.
So the NFL awards came and went. So did the season. It's over. We are in a dark time in America with football gone.
You're not wearing black like you said you were going to.
I ran out the door late. I had a massage therapist show up at my house today, too. I forgot that was coming. Interesting, yeah, because we're getting into the Robert Kraft stuff.
Interesting.
But she showed up. I'm like, who's at the? I got, we got the Ring camera. Like, who the hell is here? Like, son of a bitch. Like, I didn't remember. So that was screwed up, and then I sprinted out the door because I'm not used to some of the new times that we're doing. At any rate, NFL awards came and went. As we've discussed, Bill Belichick, not a first ballot Hall of Famer somehow. Like him, don't like him. Follow his girlfriend on Instagram, whatever the case might be. He didn't make it. Neither did his boss, former boss, Robert Kraft. We were just talking. Jordan Hudson at the UNC Duke game wearing what's the name of the spa where he got a little rub and tug?
Down in Tampa?
Like-
I can't remember, but
Like
it was
the
awesome.
White Lotus or something.
Yes, the white something like that.
You would know.
Tom's like, I might have a tab there. I might have a.
I've got a gold card. I walk in there and say, every time I walk in, I either say, give me the Bob Kraft or the Lamar Odom, depending on what kind of mood I'm in.
I charge you $5. GI. Yeah. So she wears this shirt out to the most. Duke and UNC play twice a year. It's a huge freaking deal. You're a big basketball guy. You're a big UNC Duke guy. You watch that game. And she rolls out wearing a big FU shirt to Robert Kraft. Like, that's I don't
ballsy.
like that relationship. That's balder.
That's ballsy.
I don't know what I tried to say ballsy and baller, and I made up a word. But
happens.
that is.
That
Like,
happens. That happens. She's like, I got your back, Bill. Just watch this.
Yeah.
Watch my outfit.
Yeah.
He probably said, don't wear that. I'm wearing it.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. Bill has no say in that relationship whatsoever. Bill pays the bills, he pays the tabs, and Jordan gets what I mean, they both get what they want. It's just they're different things.
Yeah.
They're
What
different
fraternity house did she stay at after the game is my question.
things. I don't know.
Because she's younger than most of the guys in the fraternity. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that T-shirt clearly lets everybody know who Bill thinks is responsible for him not getting that.
I think Jeff just said that.
Yeah.
And Kraft was behind that one.
Yeah. Well, none of them are first ballot guys now. They'll get in at some point, you would think. But this is who made it in. Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Adam Vinatieri, Roger Craig. Shocked that Roger Craig, it took this long for Roger Craig to get in. And Luke Kuechly. Keep that graphic up. That's a pretty strong class. Hard to argue that anyone shouldn't be in there. You were bringing up Vinatieri was going to get in, and he did. Larry Fitz, Drew Brees, class act. Again, how is Roger Craig? You go back to that era of 49ers football, and Roger Craig was a stud.
Yeah, but
Was he?
I thought he was. I mean, he's a great. He's your third down back.
But is he a Hall of Fame guy?
He is because he was on the Niners. Like, who should be in the hall as a football player? Roger Craig or Fred Taylor?
Oh, Fred Taylor, 100%.
Right? And Fred Taylor, if ifs and buts, right? But it doesn't. But I mean, Fred Taylor's a far better football player.
Yeah. Well,
recency bias, right? But still, I mean, good for Roger Craig. That was a really cool knock. Did you see when he got the knock on the door with Ronnie Lott and Haley? It was pretty awesome. He was stoked.
Those are all awesome.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I mean, just statistically, I guess he's kind of a legend from a legendary dynasty team. Who was their other back? It was Roger Craig and
you had Rathman.
You had Rathman,
and you had who was their tailback? But they had a different. Walsh did it differently. It's like John Taylor and Jerry Rice, and who was the tight end they had back then with Montana?
Clark.
Was it Clark? And then
This is before my time.
It was the Niners, man.
Yeah, I mean Dickerson's not. I mean, there's some backs that are really good. That maybe that's a fair point. That's a fair point. But Roger Craig is legendary. He's in regardless of what we think. Again, we're not the target audience.
Brent Jones,
the other tight end.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought Roger Craig had passed with the picture. Everybody else is in color. He's black.
That is. Why did you do it that way? Rest in peace, Roger.
Then when you
great.
told me he got the knock at the door, I'm like, with the urn?
No, he looks like he could still play.
Well, just with the graphic, I'm like, oh man, that's sad he passed.
That's so sad.
But I'm glad he got in the Hall of Fame.
Kuechly, great linebacker.
Oh yeah, the smartest linebacker.
Yeah. So I mean, all right. So our point of contention.
You know what I like to see?
I don't think it's much of a point of contention. It's just when you see a 5-pack up there, and you see Roger Craig and not Bill Belichick, it kind of just takes away a little bit of credibility.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's where you're like, okay, we're getting eerily close to the snobbery of baseball, which is the worst Hall of Fame.
Yes.
With this, and so hopefully they fix it, man. Because to say Bill Belichick doesn't deserve to be first ballot is ridiculous. And he went in, and it wasn't like Craig was judged differently because Craig and Belichick were in the same vote.
Yeah.
And Roger Craig went in and Belichick didn't. I think that's not right.
Then there should never be a first ballot Hall of Fame coach.
Right. Well, especially when we talked about the stats You look at the stats for comparing owners between Jerry Jones and Kraft. You look at the stats between coaches, Belichick, and some of the other greats who are in there. His numbers are on. They're at the tippy top. Like they are. They're the best. Yeah. It's an absolute crying shame that he didn't make it in 100%. And maybe I don't know. There's a lot of people who over the years haven't gotten in. I'm not suggesting everyone gets a prize, everyone gets a trophy. I think that's gay. I don't like that. But maybe there's some other folks that do. Maybe the numbers change. I don't know. Here's who's eligible for 2027. Firstly, obviously some of the folks who, Belichick is still eligible, but he didn't make it in the first time. Here's some notable ones for 2027. You got AP, Adrian Peterson. You got Gronk, who I love that they didn't put Rob Gronkowski. He's just forever now Madonna. He's just one name. He's Gronk. Richard Sherman, Big Ben. Going to talk Miami of Ohio, speaking of Big Ben, later. We were going to last week, and now we have to because they're the last undefeated team in college basketball. Cam Newton, Andrew Whitworth, Antonio Brown. He's not making it through in the first, just be based on his Twitter account alone. Gerald McCoy. Those are some notable ones, not the only ones. Adrian Peterson's one of the best running backs.
This one's pretty easy.
Like that one, you don't make it yet. Did he beat his kid? Yes, but he played for the Vikings. So we didn't care. Like we were like, let him suit up. Like, let's go. The rules don't apply.
Yeah, but he didn't beat him with his fist. He beat him with a stick.
With a stick.
We all got that.
Yeah.
No get a
100%.
switch off the
That
board.
Our school growing up had a paddle in the principal's office.
We deserved it.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, and you know what? His kid's probably better off for it today.
And the switch not big enough, go get another one. Or I go pick up myself.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah.
We don't condone
you
violence
were running
against
back.
kids.
AP, one of the just freaking beast mode.
His first run at Oklahoma. I know we're talking about NFL, but his first run at Oklahoma, I was like, he's going to be nasty.
Yeah.
He's like, he's a different kind of runner. He runs with intention.
Yeah.
He runs with intention.
He sure does. You get in his way, he'll just shove your ass out of the way. Like he was an animal.
Probably one
Gronk.
of the best pure running backs.
Yeah. I
He's
agree.
up there.
I think him and Gronk both should be first timers. Big Ben obviously had a great career. We don't know. We just talking about. I don't know what the basis is for first ballot Hall of Famers anymore. Those two guys I think should be there. Antonio is a hell of a football player. Again, there's some stuff that's gonna.
He's not getting it.
I don't think he's going to.
No way.
And here's the thing. He says the most inappropriate shit on Twitter that's out there. I think he's one of my favorite follows because he says stuff that I want to say that I can't say. You shouldn't let your kids follow him on Twitter. No. But
he's very entertaining.
He's very entertaining. He's like top 10 most interesting accounts out there. And interesting doesn't necessarily mean good. It just means what it means. Like you're going to get some thrills.
He says stuff that part of your brain says, you probably shouldn't say this out loud.
He just doesn't give.
No, he gives zero.
Yeah, absolutely zero.
And just for YouTube's sake, like Jeff said, we don't condone
domestic violence on kids.
Yeah,
absolutely not.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, legal just told us we can't say that.
I agree with Adrian Peterson,
Oh, I thought you were
but
about to say something else.
he is no Roger Craig.
I'm not comparing those two. I'm just saying Roger Craig was a good football player. AP in a whole different level.
Yeah, he was a good football player. Again, he doesn't, I don't think, belong in the Hall of Fame. But the thing that kind of worries me about this sort of selection is if now the new standard of being voted into the Hall of Fame is your personal issues like Bill Belichick with Deflategate, Spygate, just being an
chronic masturbator. Yeah.
Interesting.
So then it becomes, well, what about Adrian Peterson? What about Ben Roethlisberger? What did they do in their off time? Ben, has a history of being, not so nice with the ladies.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. So to me, I would just rather it be based on what is done on the field. And somehow we've gotten into this whole narrative of, can the story of the NFL be told without these players being in the Hall of Fame? And that's kind of where we're at now. So to me, that is more of like an encompassing sort of standard that you set. How are they off the field as opposed to on the field? And it becomes more of an emotional play to me for the voters than actual hard stats, hard facts.
Yeah. I tend to agree. I think it should be just based on that. Because look, most of these people, us included, on different levels. Like we didn't go OJ and decapitate our wives, but like
Allegedly.
allegedly.
I mean, I think
We need to get
was
that
pretty
shirt
clear.
made.
Allegedly.
Balls hat made, and then just allegedly shirt. But like cast the first stone. Like none of us are perfect. Some of these people have done some pretty suspect stuff. Not Adrian, because he was a Viking. But like you can't base it on that. You can't because it opens up a whole new can of worms. That's why we've got the Walter Payton Man of the Year award. Like this,
Give that to him.
He's a great guy. That's why in college you've got like this kid was the best at academics on our team. Never played a game, but you've got different awards for different things. Who cares about what Lawrence Phillips did off the field or this person did off the field or that you should care. But when
Lawrence Phillips killed a guy, so that's not good.
it's not good, but he was still a hell of a running back. Him killing someone and him being a good running back are two different conversations. Should he go to prison? Yes.
Can he run the ball? Yes.
AP, like first ballot Hall of Fame should be like a yes no. There's no gray area involved.
Right.
Are you or aren't you? And if
Right.
the answer AP is 5th all time in rushing yards, 5th all time in touchdowns.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's a hard yes.
Right.
And he was the best running back in the league for 5 years and without question, right? And then Gronk, 3rd all time in touchdowns, most Super Bowls by any tight end ever, and he played half the games with Tony Gonzalez, which I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
He played 143 games. Tony G played 270.
That's pretty crazy.
And
That's
he-
a crazy stat.
And then Gates is the guy above him also. Gates played 236 games to Gronk's 143. And Gronk was just the presence. And he's a no-doubter. I mean,
100%.
Which is amazing. I didn't realize, Derrick Henry's 10th all time with 13,000. The next active running back is in the all-time list after Derrick Henry? You got to go to Saquon. He's 44th all time.
Wow.
Which blew my mind. Running
That
backs
is-
just aren't doing what they used to do.
No, they're not. That's totally changed.
It's a new game.
You've got running back by committee.
Yeah.
The way the offenses are now, it's a totally different world. That's crazy though. That Gronk's stats in the amount of time that he did it compared to others.
Yeah, he 143 games and he had 92 touchdowns. Gates had 116. Tony Gonzalez had 111, and they both played almost twice the amount of games, which is crazy.
That is
Well, it's kind of he was playing with one of the best QBs
of
ever,
all
too.
time. Yeah.
I think Gronkowski's record after midnight was probably a little better than Antonio Gates, and I don't know. Gonzalez was married to Bezos' wife for a while, right?
I think so.
Was he?
Yeah. Tony G's first wife is now married to Bezos.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, she looks a little different now.
I was gonna say she's been through like some serious metamorphosis.
She's winning at life.
I think they're all like buddies. There's pictures of them all in the
She's
game in the
winning at
same
life.
room. There's some sort of thing going on there.
Well,
Not-
she allegedly
allegedly.
had that. Allegedly had that
That's the
head
next hat, Jeff.
transplant that Kris Kardashian and the rest of the elites have. Do you know that was a thing? The head
Bezos
transplant?
could afford it.
So they were not married, but they were a couple in the early 2000s.
Well, they weren't married. Okay.
They had a son. So you could say
No, they were together.
they were together.
They did some premarital things, so
Yeah.
There's so many things that
We're
we're
just
not
tiptoeing
condoning.
on
Yeah.
the edge.
My whole thing, I agree with Tom on the whole, can you tell the story? But I don't agree that needs to be the final say in if they're going to get in, because when you look at, let's change the sports, and Drew's going to be like, but Tour de France, 10 years is missing of the Tour de France because they erased Lance Armstrong out of the history books. It doesn't exist. And they can't go to the top 5 people who competed and finished because they were all doping. So there's no one who won for those 10 years.
I have a question. I know you hate changing the sport, but is there a Hall of Fame in boxing?
Sure.
I would think so.
If
Right?
there is, does Mike Tyson get in with all his stuff?
He's got to be in
He's
it.
he absolutely. By the way, that I forget who did it. There's a documentary on him. It might have been ESPN. I don't know if it was ESPN, if it was whatever. There's probably several, but there's one out there on him, and it's so damn good. I was showing my kids because they're like, "Who's this guy?" I'm like, "Well, he can't talk that well, but he'll knock your ass out." And his run was legendary before it.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Like, if we're talking about,
Yeah.
how do you keep him out of the Hall of Fame? of
While
boxing?
biting someone's ear off and
all the
other stuff.
I think
Other stuff.
the morality bar is a little lower
Low.
in boxing than it is in
Yeah.
most sports. I
Well,
think.
and there's like an
Football's
80%,
barbaric.
brain damage issue when you come out. Like, can you really be held responsible for what you do afterwards?
Mike Tyson was inducted to the International Boxing Hall of Fame in 2011 as a part of the modern category. They have old timers. They have different categories. He's in the modern category.
He should be in just for the video game.
Oh my gosh! Yeah. that was a hard game.
It was. Don Flamenco was a bitch.
Yeah. You start who
Glass Joe.
Glass Joe.
And was it King Hippo? Was he next? Soda Popinski.
Soda Popinski.
It was the Asian guy earlier.
Wasn't
The
there
big,
a
huge
Sandman
Glass Joe,
dude,
Von
or,
Kaiser, Piston Honda,
Piston Honda.
Don Flamingo,
Yeah.
King Hippo, Great Tiger,
Great time.
Bald Bull, Soda Popinski,
It was a very diverse roster.
Mr. Sandman,
Okay, there was a Sandman.
Macho Man, Mike Tyson, and Little Mac was in there as well.
Oh yeah, you fight like the twin of Little Mac. Yeah.
I mean, you made it through that as a kid. Like, you walk into the cafeteria standing proud.
Mhm.
Like, that was.
You
We just came up on
outside.
the anniversary of Tecmo Bowl too, recently.
You can't get the Bears.
Which
The
again,
Bears are not allowed.
Oh, you can't get the
Tecmo Bowl?
Raiders.
The Raiders.
You can't get
Oh, the
Bo
Raiders.
Jackson and Marcus Allen. You might have played Super Tecmo Bowl.
Oh, that was.
Or maybe the Bears. Did the Bears have Walter Payton at
Yes.
that point?
They did. Yeah,
Okay,
they did. Yeah.
You weren't allowed to get the Bears.
If you had either Bo Jackson and Marcus Allen or Peyton,
And Neil Anderson, I think they had too.
yeah, I mean, I guess so. 35. I had a Neil Anderson jersey growing up. I don't
Gator.
know why. It was the weirdest jersey I ever had. But it was a road white jersey. Bears road white's a great jersey.
Mhm. You're a Vikings fan. How'd you do that?
Because we had a closet down below. So I was the little brother. You know my brothers.
Yeah.
So we had like a room under the stairs, and we had almost every team's helmet. Yes, we were spoiled. Almost every team's helmet.
You
The
have
kind that
stairs?
like doesn't offer, like they say don't wear and actually compete in. So like, this thin little rubber that does nothing. And we had then a bin of jerseys. So Eric, Matt, and I would play games, and it would literally, no shit, I'm like 5 at the time. They're 6 and 9 years older. It's like 2-on-1. We had this narrow hallway. So they'd put on whatever they were wearing. And they're like, Drew, put on what you're. So I'd go into the thing and choose an outfit and come out. And then I'd have to run and get past them in a hallway that's maybe 5 feet wide. They're on their knees, but I'm 5 years old. And they might as well have mustaches.
So you were Eli. You were Eli in the home videos.
I was Eli in the home videos.
Yeah.
I would get flipped up in this non-helmet helmet and land on my head on concrete floors that had a little bit, this explains a lot, a little bit of carpet, like worse than old AstroTurf, which was just thin rug on concrete. And then my dumb ass would be like, let's do it again. And that's all we had. So we had lots of different jerseys. I hate the Bears. David likes the Bears.
The Bears.
But they do have good uniforms, so I'll give them that.
Except their highlighter orange ones. I can't stand those.
No, those are.
Oh
those
my
are terrible.
God.
No, just stick to the basics, and only wear the white pants on the road, white on white. Mark Bavaro, by the way, going back to tight ends, totally random points. We're all over the place right now. Mark Bavaro, he had a pretty damn good career. Not a Gronk career. His stats, I'm looking at, his stats are really not that impressive. Not in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. But I like Navarro.
Roger Craig quite stats.
Who was the running back alongside Roger Craig? And then
Bill
also,
Ring.
what were his stats? The rushing yards the year that they won
Of who, Craig?
the Super
or
Bowl?
the,
Yeah, Roger Craig.
Okay.
But Mark Bavaro is like a hockey player. He had like the mullet, just a big ass dude. Like he's like he's on your checking line.
Tom Rathman.
Rathman was a fullback.
But he was their fullback.
That's what they're saying.
That was the Bill Walsh.
They're saying the
two-back
primary running back who played along Roger Craig in San Francisco was the fullback, Tom Rather.
I guess it was.
Rathman.
Yeah. Those were the two running backs.
So
But they had the little split back offense. It was
Right.
West Coast dink dunk.
Yep.
Kind of helps when you have Jerry Rice and John Taylor.
On the
Yeah.
edge, yeah. And then a
And
good
kind of a
tight
good
end.
quarterback.
Yeah, I mean he was decent. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was all right.
Yeah. That Joe Montana.
You wanted his stats the year that he
Yeah,
won?
like I mean,
So 88. He had 1,502 rushing yards, 534 receiving yards,
That's good.
76 receptions, and 10 total touchdowns.
I mean, he was a good player. I mean, again, is he
For
Adrian
1
Pe-
year.
But he had other good years. Like he wasn't a 1-year wonder. Tom's like, I disagree.
David, name his years.
88. I lost it. Hang on, I just had him. Hang on, give me a second.
I think Roger Craig is really good, but I don't think he belongs in the Hall of Fame. He's not up there with the Adrian Petersons of the world. It's just,
well, and he's not even
no
up.
Comparison.
Marshall's in there, isn't he?
Who? Marshall Falk?
Yeah, he's been in for a while, right?
Yeah.
Like Roger Craig's absolutely should be. Roger Craig's the JV team of Marshall Falk, multi-purpose back, but he was good. Like he was good.
So,
But if he played for the Chiefs, he'd be a guy.
He'd be a guy.
He'd be Priest Holmes.
Yeah.
So Craig, 49ers from 83 to 90, Raiders for 91.
That's right, because then he went there with Mark
and then
Allen.
Vikings 92 to 93.
I forgot he even came to us. I probably went to some of his games. Here I am saying he should be in the Hall of Fame, like he played for us.
Now, Drew, I'm getting you a Roger Craig Vikings jersey for Christmas.
I'll do it. Just make sure it's not. His era will be good. Just make sure it's the right. Not a Christian Pond. Adrian Peterson's era of Vikings uniforms were straight trash. Like I had some dark thoughts.
You want his overall stats and see if this is Hall of Fame?
Let's move on.
Right.
The guys are right. Like he's borderline. But he's a good back. Seems like he's still fit. I'd love him to send me some pics, Roger, if you're listening. Anything to get my heart rate up. Okay, we're going to talk Mountain West. We're going to talk Miami of Ohio after a quick break. Stick around.
Are you sick of hearing how all the home security solution companies keep pushing their newfound tech, super easy installation, and superb customer service? We get it, and we get security. We also get that protecting your loved ones, your home, and prized possessions within it is super important. That's why we've taken a different approach to home security. Forget the high-speed tech that could get knocked out with a heavy storm or some obsolete system that relies on an old phone line in your house, and lean on something tried and true. Cougar Home Defense. You see, our approach is much different. Criminals most often strike out of convenience and are routinely scared away by bright lights, a loud dog, and of course, the most feared noise in the burglary community, the sound of a round being chambered in a shotgun. But why settle for the tried and true basics when you can take things to the next level? That's where we come in. When you call Cougar Home Defense, we'll connect you with one of our customer success associates who will get you scheduled for your big cat's delivery. And we're not talking about Garfield or some overweight house pet. No. We're talking a big-ass man-eater cat that's highly adaptive to multiple habitats. So say goodbye to criminals and say hello to peace of mind that only your new jungle cat can bring. Individual results may vary. Cougar Home Defense cannot guarantee the safety of your family or possessions. Cougar Home Defense sends your big-ass jungle cat with 24 hours worth of food. Owners are responsible for additional food and or accessories. In most cases, your cat will sustain himself without your assistance. You'll see what we mean.
I said it earlier. We are the nation's premier Mountain West Conference football show. We've talked about it twice, but it's like this is like in the old days when we talk about stories in Africa and what was going on. It's like we are the go-to place for an African news. We're now the go-to place for a Mountain West Conference.
We'll build a Mountain West bumper.
Yeah, we'll have to do one. Well, it's growing. You know, we showed the graphic on Thursday of how the Mountain West is breaking up. They're starting the Pac-12, and the net result is we're getting 2 group of 5 style conferences. But now you've got news, and it was breaking like that it was going to happen, and then it did in fact happen. You can put that up. Pete Thamel and several others reported. North Dakota State, who's been just straight up dominant, the Dakotas and the Montanas at the FCS level, straight up dominant. They're joining the Mountain West Conference for football only starting this year. Like, it's happening right now. They're not eligible to play in the Mountain West Conference Championship a bowl game or the college football playoff until 2028. Cute that they think that the Mountain West is going to get there. They might. We'll see. But what do you guys think? North Dakota State coming up. Better to stay dominant at the FCS level or to go up and play in a decent, I would say a good group of 5 conference in the Mountain West, although a depleted one now with Boise and some of them leaving. I don't know. I don't know where I land on this.
You won't find many bigger college football fans than us in this room, right?
Right.
How many titles has off the top of your head, how many titles have they won in the last 20 years? Division, what is it? FCS?
FCS, 1AA, yeah.
They've won multiple.
Right.
How many players from that team can you name? I can name 2.
The quarterback.
Yeah,
Wentz
Trey,
and
Carson Wentz.
Trey Lance.
Yeah, Trey Lance.
So it's kind of like a tree falling in the forest, right? It's great. They win championships. But now it's like North Dakota State goes, well, Indiana's the only more white state in the nation than we are, so maybe we can go compete maybe we can go compete at that level too. We just need to first let's go find us some billionaires who graduated from here, maybe some lumber guys.
Yeah,
I don't know, what do they do in North Dakota?
They got fracking.
Is that it? Some oil, some wood.
Yeah.
Ice
cream.
Maybe you're going to see some new casinos open up on some reservation land up in North Dakota,
Possibly.
and you're going to see some big money guys come in and say, hey, we're going to bring a title to Fargo, North Dakota, right? Why not? If Indiana can do it, why can't North Dakota State?
I mean, we did talk about Thursday. Anyone can be the next Indiana now.
They're kind of cool. Game Day went there one time, right?
It's a cool.
I like their colors. I like their whole vibe. It's
their vibe is good. Their fans are, because there's nothing else to do in Fargo.
nothing.
I went to North Dakota every summer growing up. That's where my parents grew up, and we went to a smaller town than Fargo. But folks in Fargo love UND at North Dakota, who should still be the Fighting Sioux. They love their hockey like it's nobody's business. North Dakota State love their football like it's nobody's business. The question is okay, you play in the Fargo Dome. It's cool. No one else has it. Not many. I mean, Idaho does. Northern Arizona does. A couple teams do. Syracuse has a larger but still small dome. But if you're going to come up, do you have to, if you're going to really be a big-time player, do you have to expand or replace the Fargo Dome? What's – not that you have to do it tomorrow, but you've got to have something that draws you in. Because if you're going to get a kid from, let's say here, we have great recruiting. You see it firsthand now as a coach locally. Jacksonville's got great recruits. How do you get a kid from Jacksonville to go to North Dakota where there's temperatures? You get, the money, but don't you got to have the facilities, the stadium, some of the other stuff?
Have you ever seen Tulane's facilities? Tulane was just in the college football playoff.
Right.
James Madison was just in the college football playoff. So if you're North Dakota State and you're saying, if Tulane and James Madison can be in,
right,
why can't we be in 5 years?
I think they can. If the rules stay the same, I think they're going to change between now and then. Hopefully it goes.
Yeah, but they go to
Ravens
16
base.
and 24. So you're saying we should do that? Why not?
Yeah,
It's a different kind of code in North Dakota.
it is.
Correct?
It's
a different kind of code than Ohio and Indiana.
It was cold here last week, and it was 60.
Yeah.
So, I don't
So
know.
that's what I'm
It's
saying.
negative 60 there.
The Florida kids, they're entertained the idea
Right.
of going up to North Dakota.
At least they get to play indoors there, but the teams you're playing, you're still going to some cold places. You're playing Air Force on the road. You're playing Wyoming. Laramie's not warm during football season. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think they're a hell of a football program. I think anything is possible in this day and age.
Anything is possible.
But what did you say?
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
Kevin Garnett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm on a boat. That's what he was quoting.
Yeah.
Just so you know. Okay.
Tom, what do you think? North Dakota State to the Mountain West Conference.
Oh, yes, I'm all for it. I think
You
it's a
seem super
stupendous
convinced.
No, I mean, the problem, you guys just talked about it. The problem is recruiting people to come to go to these schools. And the only way that you're going to be able to do that, I mean, quite frankly, nobody from South Florida, North Florida, Louisiana is going to go to somewhere that is that cold. That prairie kind of cold weather is something that even it's going to be tough getting somebody from Florida going to a Michigan. They'll do it. Or in Indiana, but that's a different kind of cold. What we're talking about up there is like this Arctic sort of coldness to it. And that's not to mention, I don't know what the practice facilities are like. I can't imagine they'd be practicing outdoors, so they have to have some sort of indoor facility. But how is that going to be? Is that going to necessarily be as warm as it would be down further south?
I think, I mean, when they play an outdoor team, they have outdoor practice facilities. They'll practice outdoors. When they're playing at home that week, they'll practice indoors. But I think their facilities are good. The difference is if you stay at FCS level, and presuming nothing changes, right? If you get Bill Gates or someone like him on your side, and you're spending copious amounts of money, and the players are making that and seeing that, anything's possible. But if you stay the way you are now, where you're dominant, okay, I can't play in the SEC or the Big Ten or the ACC, whatever, but I can start and compete for championships at North Dakota State at the FCS level. That's interesting to people, and you can get past the cold. But when you're having to go and get through some of that stuff, if the money's not there, it's different. You bring up some of the other schools. Like, it's easy to get a kid from Jacksonville or Miami to go to Michigan because it's Michigan. Like, they're the winningest program in college football history. North Dakota State and Michigan are very different. Ohio State and North Dakota State, very different. It really does.
Smith is from South Florida.
Who is?
Jeremiah Smith.
Jeremiah Smith, yeah. We have a kid from locally here who played with my sons and nephews. My sons, I have one son. My son and nephews, one that we're talking about.
We don't mention the other ones.
who went to Ann Arbor, a year ago, and actually had a great year. Thought he was going to transfer, but he didn't. So
then to me, it's marketing. You got to cool it up somehow. If that's like, adjusting your color scheme to your uniforms, and also the culture that's there for football. I know that North Dakota, that they draw people, but it's not going to be like the draws that you get at other football schools. But I think you have to embrace, the Midwest. I consider the Midwest sort of being that Rocky Mountain kind of area.
It's drooled on myself. Yeah.
I think that you need to lean into that. If I were doing marketing for the Mountain West, and feel free to give me a call if you would like some of my input on this and get the checkbook open. But you need to cool it up somehow. You need to embrace the whole sort of Wounded Knee, the Deadwood, South Dakota. You need to get that into part of the coolness about being in that region, because right now you talk to people from North Dakota, they always downplay. It's like, oh, I'm from North Dakota, nobody ever comes here. Well, you have to give them a reason to be there. You have to cool it up in some sort of way if you want to attract people. And that's not, just for college athletes, but that's also for tourism and everything else. You have to lean into this. If you want a marketable product, you have to lean into the coolness that you have. And I don't think those states who are in this division have ever really done that. They've never really marketed themselves to the masses as being somewhere that's cool. And at the end of the day, kids want to go somewhere where they think is unique and cool, and you've got to lean into that somehow.
Well, in fairness, ramping up tourism in North Dakota and ramping up NDSU are different stories. But I think you're right, because it's like we talked about last week, UNLV is primed, if they wanted to go and be one of those next surprise teams, the next Texas Tech or whatever, because they've got Vegas as the backdrop, and they've got all this cool stuff and probably some other stuff the kids shouldn't be as excited about, but they would be. Here are their facilities, by the way. North Dakota State has good facilities. I figured they would. David pulled some pictures.
$45.2 million, 144,000 square feet, all-season complex, 90,000 square foot indoor field. They're softball, soccer, baseball. They even have indoor fields that mimic what they have outside as well, so they can play indoor, outdoor. It doesn't matter. They spared no expense.
All that stuff's great. You have to have the money to pay players.
Yeah, this day and age.
You could have the best facilities in the world, but if that team runs out there looking like they can't compete, that you have to have dudes. Like Indiana, they had dudes, man. They had dudes.
They had grown men.
I think if you have, have you heard of Wrexham Football Club?
Yeah.
Okay. Had you heard of Wrexham Football Club before Ryan Reynolds went over and made a show about it?
No one had.
Right.
Unless you were in Wrexham.
And where is Wrexham?
No idea.
It's in Wales. I know that because I watched the show.
Yeah.
And so if there's like a Ryan Reynolds type guy who can go and do a documentary style deal about Fargo, I think that's the perfect place to do it. And you get all these guys that want to go play on TV and get known, and now they're all over TV and YouTube. Yeah,
It
sure.
could be
They
us.
can be successful.
We should go to
Balls and Banter from Fargo.
Balls and Banter from Fargo. Tom, you've got let's do this. Like
He's
this
putting the
could
hood
be
up.
interesting.
There you
that's
go.
a white
Now we got the
You need to get a
Unabomber.
green and gold headband.
Yes, it
You
changed
kinda-
the name to the Unabombers.
Yeah.
That's going to be their mascot.
Yeah. Get us a little trailer out in the woods. It'd be great.
Does that hood come all the way down?
Not this one.
Well, we were on YouTube.
This will be the second time we've been dinged.
No names were said. No names were said.
No names were said.
It doesn't matter. We've been blamed for things we never said and still got flagged.
They just see that they see Tom and they're like, check the box. These guys are terrorists. Miami of Ohio. We were going to talk about them last week. We're going to wrap the show talking about them today. We're going to talk college basketball for a second. They are, after Arizona fell this week to Kansas, Michigan had fallen earlier in the year. Both those teams with one loss. Michigan, of course, beat that team from down south the other day in a dominant, like embarrassing. Like Columbus should be ashamed of themselves. But Miami of Ohio, whose hockey team's hell of a year as well. I think they're ranked 20th. Is undefeated, last undefeated team in college basketball. You can see the little report from ESPN there, who's courting us. They want us to be on their network. They just won't do it because we're not appropriate. And lots of other reasons.
Because you're white.
Yes, I am. That's actually not a problem for them. Here's the issue with this though. So kudos to Miami of Ohio, great academic institution. My sister-in-law went there. Ben Roethlisberger went there. He's probably their biggest. Is there anyone bigger than Big Ben who went to Miami of Ohio?
Is Wally Zerbiak still playing at Miami of Ohio?
That's a great pull.
Yes.
Yeah?
That's a great pull. He was a stud.
You pulled
Yeah.
that one out of your hat.
How about
sir.
that one?
Yeah,
Timberwolves. He was a
he spent some
great
time in
player.
Minnesota. Yeah.
Great player. Oh,
We
wow.
loved guys. Wally Zerbiak, we had Leitner there, like those guys with pretty average careers after their stud college career.
Yeah.
High
High motor guys.
motor guys. We've got a place for you for a little bit. But Miami of Ohio, last undefeated team in college. So kudos to them, right? And you're like, oh man, like some people are like, this is awesome, and it is. It's cool. You love stories like this. I just hate to be the Debbie Downer, but like you look at who they
100%.
played. Like they're a
100%.
MAC team. Like pull up their schedule here, Disco. It's really small.
That is
Who is
terrible.
Mercyhurst?
They played Trinity Christian.
Trinity Christian is in the West Side.
The local high school team.
Well, they have a college, so. But I said that's in Illinois, but
Yeah, you've got Old Dominion, Trinity Christian in Illinois, Air Force, Mercyhurst, Arkansas Pine Bluff, UNC Greensboro, Indiana University East. Okay, this
Not
is
the
like their
West.
rec team. Maine, UNC Asheville, Eastern Kentucky, Wright State, and then they get into predominantly their MAC schedule. Ball State, Milligan, not in there. There's 4 people that go to Milligan. Bowling Green, Akron, Western Michigan, Toledo, Central Michigan, Buffalo, Kent State, Massachusetts, Northern Illinois, Buffalo, Marshall. So they're undefeated against a bunch of teams who are not very good in a conference that's not very good. And I'm sorry if that offends you MAC crazies that are out there. I mean, they went to overtime at least first glance 3 times. UNC Asheville took them to overtime. They're 11-13 on the year.
they're a 5 seed.
Buffalo took them to overtime. They're 14-10. Kent State took them to overtime. They're 17-7. The best of the overtime bunch. I just don't know if you celebrate being undefeated. You should. If you're a Miami Ohio fan, this should feel really good. But you shouldn't think that you're going to go and run the table to the Final Four. Is it possible? Sure, anything's possible. But this comes down to the same thing in football and everything else. Who did you play? Who did you
Play
beat?
a lot of directional schools,
Yeah.
Eastern, Western.
What's Lenardi got them in bracketology? Like a 4 or a 5?
Oh, look.
Have to be a 5 seed.
Everybody in the country's picking the 13th seed to beat their ass.
100%.
That's the number 1 upset pick.
Yeah. I'm just not impressed. Even if they had a couple Power 4 schools in there towards the beginning and they pulled off some upsets, even if they beat one and lost to one and they were 23-1,
Yeah, they've been battle tested.
it's
at
like,
least.
okay, like, can they hang if they play a full Power 4 schedule? Probably not still, but like,
You're really not giving Mercyhurst and Milligan their fair due.
Fair due. I'm so sorry, Milligan. What's your mascot again? That's right. You don't have one. They
go-
probably,
This would be the 25 season, right? If I'm remembering.
25, 26?
25,
Yeah,
26.
yeah. I'm making sure I'm pulling the right one. That's it.
So he's pulling that up.
Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan. So you go from
This is who they have left. Ohio, Massachusetts, Bowling Green, Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan, Toledo, Ohio. They're very likely, although they got taken to overtime a few times by some terrible teams. They're likely.
They're losing one of those games.
Okay. You think
they're losing to UMass.
Okay.
They're losing one of those games. Mercyhurst lost by 5. You know, they're going to trip on one of them.
Yeah.
It'd probably be good for them to lose one.
I think it would be too. I think it's actually probably the best thing for them. But regardless, they're going to finish the year with a very impressive record. I just think it's a very impressive, stat line, not necessarily an indicator of the team that they are, which I think we're all in agreement of.
Yeah, it's definitely not an indicator of what kind of team that they have, because you're right. I mean, to me, strength of schedule matters in anything, in any sort of competition. And with their schedule, it just, to me, doesn't add up against like the Dukes, the Carolinas, the Michigans. It just
Arizona. I mean,
Yeah,
even the mid-tier teams in those, where are they?
What are we looking
I'm
at?
trying to find them. This is Lenardi's bracket that he has so far, but I just can't
It has
find him.
score predictions already?
Yeah, this is what ESPN has put out, and people.
I've got a glare, so I can't.
See it. I just can't see it. It's too small.
They're not on there.
That's what she said.
Ew. So there we have Duke, Bryant, Maryland, San Diego. We can't.
Yeah, they're not on there. You sure this isn't last year?
It said 25.
Yeah, that'd be 25 of last
Oh,
year.
okay. This was the most recent post, so maybe they have not posted
Lenardi
it
hadn't
yet.
dropped it yet.
Yeah.
He's not like Kuiper where he's dropping drafts a year ahead of time.
I think you're right though. Like, there's no way.
Like they're the 5 seed.
Yeah.
And they're going to play a 12 seed that's going to mop them probably, right?
So
Who
he's the
knows?
12 seed from last year.
That is, yeah. Now I'm looking at it now. This is the last year one.
Okay. Well,
Sorry
no
about that,
worries.
gentlemen.
No, you're good. We apologize.
George Mason, 12 seed from last year, beats them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, George Mason's pretty
Yeah,
solid.
it's
basketball
a
school.
pretty good school.
Yeah. We need to have like a specific balls and banter pool that goes out. I know you've always got pools. We need to have something. At minimum, something in here. By the way, we're looking for our gambling partner right now. Haven't decided who that's going to be.
Are you opening a wide net to like regional bookies that they can actually, Paulie Walnuts?
yes, Jimmy Four Fingers. Hey, Drew.
So I
have enough debts and enough people overseas that want me dead as it is. Like,
DraftKings might be full. We can go find, Joey Bag of Donuts over here in the corner who,
I
for
think
a
it'd be-
price.
So I can't show
We
this.
have a great disclaimer below the URL as we're pushing people to it. Joey Bag of Donuts and his associates may kill your family or hold them ransom.
So I just can't show this bracket because this is on the ESPN website, but they have Miami of Ohio. Wait, I just had 11. And there's
You talk rankings or seeds?
so like they would be playing against Clemson. So 6 and 11. They'd be,
Okay,
that's
so
what
they
they
have
have
as
them
an 11 seed
Yeah,
on
so-
ESPN.
And that's what it should be.
that's what they're saying right now
Okay.
as a projection, and you can bet on it too if you think that seat's going to stay.
Yeah.
Oh, you can bet on everything.
Oh yeah.
You can. It's absolutely. I saw a new thing come through this morning that's kind of like Kalshi and Poly Market.
Yeah.
You guys probably heard of it. I don't remember what it's called, but they're like, you can bet on anything. I'm like, well, we should talk because we're gonna. You better be straight, damn certain we're gonna have a betting partner here, and we're gonna get into all sorts of trouble. Mortgage houses, like
We should still get
Pink
that
slips.
chalkboard to have the list that we've always talked
we've
about.
always talked about. Yeah, we'll do it. All right, folks, it's been fun. It's been fun having Court here. We're so glad to have Court and Jeff joining the crew as always. It adds a lot more. I was going to say it adds a lot more color. It does. That's not my agenda to say.
Walk out, just leave.
Especially in the month of February. That is ballsy. Ballsy. Hey, it is what it is. Got white hoods, and we got somebody who can call color. That's fine.
Yeah, Tom's in a white hood. This was certainly the last episode on YouTube. Please hit that like button before we're kicked off forever. We appreciate the hell out of you. Share and subscribe. Do all those positive things. We'll look forward to seeing you on Thursday. Be safe, be smart, be free.
We got balls and banter.